In previous segments, you learned how to interpret printed reports and forecasts, as well as graphic weather products. But as a pilot, how does this information get into your hands? You can retrieve weather information from a wide variety of sources. Government facilities and private companies make weather reports and forecasts available by phone, television, fax, radio, and the internet. First, let's take a look at the sources of pre-flight weather information available to you. The most common source of pre-flight weather information is the Flight Service Station, or FSS. Flight service stations are FAA-operated facilities spanning the contiguous United States, as well as Alaska and Hawaii. You may encounter the term Automated Flight Service Station, or AFSS. This term is sometimes used to differentiate the current FSSs that employ advanced technology from the former non-automated FSSs. An FSS typically offers a number of services, including pre-flight weather briefings, IFR and VFR flight plan processing, assistance for aircraft that are lost or in distress, and aid for search and rescue operations. Some flight service stations also have the ability to provide in-flight weather information in the form of En route Flight Advisory Service, or EFIS. If you happen to live in a city where an FSS is located, you can visit the station and receive pre-flight weather services in person if the briefers are able to handle your request at that time. Due to the limited number of stations in the U.S., however, a telephone briefing is a much more common means of receiving weather information. You can reach a flight service station on the ground by simply dialing a toll-free number anywhere in the U.S. When you dial 1-800-WXB-RIEF, you will be connected with the FSS nearest your location. The FSS phone system allows you to access a pre-flight weather briefer, along with other services such as FastFile, a flight plan filing tool. When you speak with a pre-flight briefer, you can request one of three types of weather briefings: an Outlook briefing, a standard briefing, and an abbreviated briefing. Before you can receive a briefing, however, you must provide some background information regarding your flight. This allows the briefer to tailor the weather information to your specific needs. An Outlook briefing is used when your departure is 6 or more hours away. This type of briefing is very useful for getting an overall picture of the general weather trends that may affect your flight. As your departure time nears, a standard briefing is necessary to obtain the most complete and in-depth weather data. A standard briefing is comprised of 12 separate and sometimes lengthy elements, so be prepared to write when you call. The briefer normally provides you with the following information: reported and forecast adverse weather conditions, information regarding whether or not VFR is recommended based on the current and forecast weather, an overall synopsis of weather systems, the current weather conditions, the en route weather forecast for your route of flight, the forecast for your destination airport, the winds and temperatures aloft forecast, NOTAMs, any air traffic control delays if applicable, a request for pilot reports, the availability of EFIS or FlightWatch, weather updates, and any other information you request, such as military activity along your flight route. Just prior to your departure, you may elect to check the weather one more time. An abbreviated briefing allows you to request one or two specific items and be advised of any changes in the weather since your last briefing. To expedite this briefing, be sure to include as much background information as possible, including the time and source of your last briefing. If you do not need to speak with a weather briefer, but you would like current weather information to aid in your pre-flight planning, some FSSs offer the Telephone Information Briefing Service System, or TIBS. You can access the TIBS recordings using the FSS 1-800 number. Typically, these recordings include route and/or area briefings for specific locations in the FSS region.
This recording prepared at 1408 Zulu. Briefing summary of current weather in eastern Colorado. Valid until 1500 Zulu. Summarize current conditions. A few clouds at 9,000 to 11,000 and high scattered cirrus. Visibility is unrestricted. Winds are generally northwesterly to northeasterly.
The TIBS system is recommended for preliminary briefings only and should not replace a standard weather briefing. If you have any questions about the recorded information, you can remain on the line to access a weather briefer. Be sure to provide the briefer with any background information in order to expedite the process. Another system you can use to receive complete weather briefings is the Direct User Access Terminal Service, or DUATS. DUATS is a free service that can be accessed on the internet or with a modem and a 1-800 number. You can obtain all the items of a standard weather briefing through DUATS, as well as selected reports for specific locations. You can also file both VFR and IFR flight plans. DUATS, however, does not provide any details on military activities. You'll need to contact a flight service station for this information. You are required to have a current medical certificate to access the DUATS system. Further information regarding the DUATS service can be found in the Aeronautical Information Manual. In addition to DUATS, a number of organizations offer weather information by phone or on the internet. While many of these sites and services are free, some require membership or specific user fees. Just one of many internet sites providing weather information is the National Weather Service website, which is operated by NOAA, a weather service branch of the U.S. government. While websites are excellent sources of pre-flight weather data, the information presented may not be the most up-to-date and should not be used in place of a complete weather briefing from an FSS or the DUATS system. Jeppesen also provides several weather resources for pilots, such as JEPFAX, a worldwide weather fax service available for a small user fee. A complete listing of Jeppesen weather products, including JEPFAX, can be found at jeppesen.com or at flightneeds.com. Now that you've discovered where to obtain weather information prior to flight, let's explore how you can get updated weather information while airborne. One of the best sources of en route weather is En route Flight Advisory Service, or EFIS, also known as FlightWatch. This service is available from selected flight service stations. The frequency for FlightWatch is 122.0. After giving the EFIS specialist the details concerning your flight and your request, the briefer relays the latest weather information. You can also access weather data by monitoring selected VOR and NDB stations. These facilities normally provide local weather information updates or weather advisories. One such source of en route advisories is the Hazardous In-Flight Weather Advisory Service, or HIWAS, which is continuously broadcast over selected VORs. Information available through this system includes AirMets, SIGMETs, convective SIGMETs, summarized severe weather forecast alerts, center weather advisories, and urgent PIREPs. The NavAids and frequencies used for HIWAS can be found in the Airport Facility Directory. NavAids with HIWAS capabilities are also noted on aeronautical charts.
HIWAS for Miami Center area, recorded at 1845 Greenwich. Convective SIGMET 17 Echo. Between Key West and 50 nautical miles west of Vero Beach, line of thunderstorms 25 nautical miles wide.
Other in-flight services which provide surface weather observations include the Automated Weather Observing System, or AWOS, and the Automated Surface Observing System, or ASOS. These systems record surface weather observations and automatically transmit real-time weather.
Denver Centennial Airport. Automated weather observation 2116 Zulu. Wind 040 at 12.
AWOS and ASOS broadcasts can be received up to 25 nautical miles from the station and up to a maximum altitude of 10,000 feet AGL. These stations are also accessible on the ground by phone. AWOS and ASOS facilities, frequencies, and phone numbers are listed in the Airport Facility Directory and the J-AID, as well as noted on aeronautical charts. As you have seen, there are numerous weather sources available for your use, and more methods to obtain accurate weather data continue to be developed. Additional information can be found in the FAR-AIM, advisory circulars, and other sources. You should always receive a pre-flight briefing before your departure. While en route, take advantage of EFIS and other en route information services to keep abreast of changes in the forecast weather. Fly safe by staying advised of current and expected weather conditions. With a wide selection of services available, obtaining the required weather data for your flight is both quick and easy.